In our last video, we concluded discussions on the principles of taxation law in Nigeria. So having discussed the principles, the features, and those characteristics which we said one should look out for in identifying whether a concept is taxed or not, I think it's appropriate that, having understood the principles behind tax, we move to now speaking about these taxes as they arise from time to time. What we have done is that I have identified 22 types of taxes in Nigeria for discussion. And of course, when it comes to any topics surrounding the issue of types of tax, we should know that it's a developing theme. There is no closed circuit about it. Government can always come up with new forms of taxes by way of legislation. So what we have only tried to do is to pick 22 that are most common and most, that we have majority of Nigerians interacting with, so that, for the purpose of familiarity, we just limit ourselves to that. It doesn't mean that there are only 22 taxes in the Federation of Nigeria, but we'll be, limiting ourselves to discussing 22 types that are most popular and most common, and just to help with our understanding. Okay, now before we begin to discuss each of these types of taxes one after the other, I would just like to read through the 22 types of taxes that we are going to discuss, so that you just have an overview of where we will be proceeding from. The first type of tax is withholding tax, and then you have personal income tax. That is followed by the pay as you earn tax, popularly known as payee tax. You have the capital gains tax, the company income tax, you have the tertiary education tax, you have the petroleum profit tax, the hydrocarbon tax, minimum tax, alternative tax on distribution, you have alternative tax on deemed profits, you have value added tax, which we normally call VAT, and then you have stamp duty, it's also a tax. You have customs and excise tariff, which is in the form of a tax for importers and etc., and even for manufacturers of certain categories of goods. You have the cabotage levy, you have the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure Act levy, which is called the NASEMI Act levy, right, for those in that area. You have the Information Technology levy, you have the National Housing Fund contributions, which is a form of tax, because this national, they normally call it NHF. It's a form of tax because it's removed from salaries of workers by law, and so it's a tax. You might want to say deduction, but it's actually a tax because it's paid to the government, and then there are benefits that come with it anyway, but it's a tax because it's fixed by the government. It has a calculation, and it is removed from salaries of government workers. So that's what is called the National Housing Fund